What's going on, guys? I'm here with Blue, my 2019 Kawasaki Voyager, and we're getting started with the upgrades. What we're going to be doing today is doing the full front end with LEDs, the headlight, as well as the two passing lights. So I'm using engineered adapters kit that they have for this bike. It's specifically for this bike, so it should make it really easy. And I'm going to go through the entire process. I know some of the videos that are out there, they show parts of it, but I really didn't see one that was going through every little thing from the beginning, what you'll need to take off to get to these parts, to get these parts off, all of it. We're going to be going through it all, man. Stick around. All right, so like I said, I'm here with Blue, and as you know, we got a couple things that we wanted to upgrade. More specifically, we're going to be doing the lights today. So like I said, there was some videos that were out there, and they talked about the adapters, which we're going to be using, on how to put them together and how to put your lights actually in the adapter. And then some talked about, you know, getting it on the bike, and some just showed it after. But today, I'm going to show you how to go through beginning to end, what you need to take off in order to get to these lights, because in order to get to these side lights, you're going to have to take some other stuff off to get to that. And I'm going to show you that right now, that you have to take your speakers out, possibly, definitely have to take out the two cubby holes on each side. So we're going to get started with that. All right, well, to start off, we'll start off with the easiest part, which is going to be the headlight. There is just one screw that's under here that holds this cowl on here, the chrome cowl. And then after that, there's just two little plugs right here that are just going to pull right out. All right. So it's a 4mm Allen bolt. And then after that, you just pop this forward and then pop it out of those two little things here. And then it just comes right off. Okay, normally I would show you the pop tabs that are on here that just pop off, but these ones were broken actually. I don't know why. There seems to have only been one in there, and they fit in these little things here, and then they have a center part that just pushes in and then it releases it. But this one wasn't in there, and I did hear some rattling in the front, so yeah, okay. Well, anyways, if you do see these, push them in there, push, and then it all just pops off. So once you pull this back, you'll be able to access your light bulb switch here, and it just wiggles out of there. And then this whole thing comes in one piece. You're not going to need any of this because the engineered adapters are going to be taking the place of this and the whole light and everything. So this whole thing just goes away. And then you're just left with this, and that should be plug and play with the new one that comes in. All right, so that was the easy part. Not that this one is hard, but it's just a little bit more steps that you have to do to get them off. So for the passing lights here, they don't just pop out of here. You just have to come around this side here, and you have to take this off. So when you open this, hopefully, yeah, you'll see these screws here. These three right here come off, and then this thing, then this thing slides right out of there. I'm gonna see if I can reach in there and do it with just taking this off. I have seen other people take the speaker out as well, which is not too bad. It's just a few bolts up here and, you know, another couple bolts that holds the speaker in, and it just pops out as well. But I'm gonna see how much room I have and how many curse words I start using before I open up this one. So these are just some Phillips screws that pop out of here. Let me make sure my keys, somewhere I can find it. All right, so for good measure, I put my screws back in here so I can find them. It's always a good idea, but you can see up in there, there's 3 screws on the back of there. I don't know if I'm pointing right, but right there, there, and there. I think I can squeeze my hand up in there. The only thing is, afterwards, I'm going to be linking everything to this power plug right here. And so the back of that wire is in here, which isn't too bad. I mean, I can reach in here and grab it. There's room to grab, and kind of, if you use like a quick connect that just presses in and connects it to it, I think I might be okay. But I think I might be able to squeeze my hand in here and get these screws. It's just those 3 little Phillips head screws that you need to take out, and it'll just pop out through the front. All right. So I got the last one out, and I'll show you. Now this just pulls right out the front. And then you have this whole unit that's going to come out. You still got your bulb inside and everything. That's your old halogen. You ain't going to use any of this except for this housing. You are going to use the housing, you need it. Also, from the other, if you watch the video, also take note, the two that are closest together is 12 o'clock. This one is a further space from it. These ones are closer together, so it's easier to remember. But you just got to pop this out. There's going to be a couple buttons here that pops out. And I'll show you how to stuff in the new LEDs with the new engineered adapters kit. But I'm going to get the other side out, and then I'm going to go head straight for AC into my workshop, and I'll show you how to do that from there. All right, just one quick thing. Once I took these off, this side has your wires in here that goes to your potential Bluetooth receiver. They're the factory wires in there. There was a little rubber grommet in the back that kind of holds up. I don't know if you can, let me get you a close-up on this. You see there how these things are too fat? There was this rubber grommet on there that makes it even tighter, that goes in there. You have to remove that, and then after you remove that, you have to push these things out one at a time. Let me see if I can get one to do it. They both won't go out at the same time, so you just kind of push one out first, and then the other one, and then it comes free. All right, as you can see, everything is disassembled on the bike. This part of it we can do inside with the AC on the shop, and I'll show you how to get them plugged in. And then after you get these all together into the brackets, you're coming out and you're just literally just installing them back in. Okay, so we're here in the shop. The AC is pumping, and sorry about the little black lines that keep running through. It's the LED lights in my shop. I don't know, otherwise you won't be able to see. But I wanted to just show you real quick, you know, because when you order these, you're going to be getting, most likely you'll be buying the headlight and the two side lights. And I want to just kind of real quick go through it so you can make sense of what you're looking at inside the bag, because sometimes it's just all stuffed in there. So you're going to have your bottom ring for your headlight, right? These are going to be the side lights. This is everything that you'll need for that. So all you're going to be looking for the side of these two small rings and this bag of black clips. And I'll show you what those how those are used in just a second. But you have your headlight bracket here, the main one. You have a inside ring that's going to go in, and then you're going to have your final chrome piece rim that goes over top of that. But I wanted to show you real quick, when you're putting this on, if you notice, these brackets are all on here, and they have a flat end, and then they have, you know, the curved side here. You want to put that flat end towards here. And just real quick reference, because these things only fit one way. This little tab here, the smallest little tab that you'll see on here, there's several tabs, but the smallest one is like bottom left, so you'll know that. And they only fit one way, so if it's not fitting this way, keep turning it, it will fit. So with this, real quick, I know Randy already does the install with this, but I just want to run through it just real quick for you. You can take the springs, pop them inside of here. You should be sitting them inside, and this tab at the bottom here should be facing you with the logo showing correctly. If that's backwards, then you have it backwards, obviously. But you slide your springs in, then you put this over top, and then you add the black bolts that come with it. There should be 3 of them. You add them to each spot, and then you crank these down inside of the screws there. The headlight that I got was, you know, the typical LED light. They sell these all over the place. You can get them very inexpensive, or there's some websites out there that will rip you off for $300 for the exact same light that comes from China. So they all come from China. You know, the big critical thing is you just want to make sure that, you know, it fits in there. Usually the side lights, sometimes, you know, I talked to Randy and he says he only knows of one of them right now that doesn't fit. So even if you go with the cheaper headlights, it's still going to fit in there. So there's one way for this to fit in, and it has a notch, if you notice down here, and then you're going to have a notch here. Whoa, where am I at? You're going to have a notch right here on your headlight, and so obviously that just links in there and solidly locks in place. I'll flip it over so you can check it out. It's well, you can't really see it, but down in there you can see that it locks into place, and it's all, you know, locked in. Very simple. Get rid of this plastic for a second here. You want to make sure it's in the right orientation, and really there's no way it can't be in the wrong orientation because it's kind of locked into one little tab that's in there. So once you get it and you know it's locked into place, from here it's just putting your ring over top, and again same situation. It only fits one way, so you have to turn it and get the right way, but after this you just lock this down. And now we're going to move on to the passing lights. And so now let me show you the passing lights. So now you're going to have these two rings here, and then you have your hardware here. So let me show you the old ones, which are right here. This is the bucket that you're going to be putting it in. So you just need to pop these out of here, and they pop out of here by these little tabs right here. You can dip into with a small pick or screwdriver or something like that. I'm going to try to find something that ain't going to jack it up. But yeah, they kind of pull apart. I don't know if you could see, but they have like a clip in there. So you just want to reach in there and grab that clip and pop it out with like a flathead. So push in, pop in the front here, pop at that clip, and it should. That's 3 of them. I think there's one last one right here. Just kind of pop it out of there. So then you have your 2 pieces here. So this piece here, you are going to be using the chrome trim on this. So you need to pop that out of there, and this just comes out by sliding into those grooves. So you just slide it to the left, and then it pops out of there. And then you have your ring. You're going to be using that, but this here, this is going on the shelf. So now that you have this apart and all that, you have your rings and everything, now you're going to be using this OEM bucket as well. But you got to do a slight bit of modification because there are really tiny tabs in there. Can you see the tabs? Not these tabs here. These right here are structural. These ones on the sides, you don't want to touch those. But you want these 4 little tiny nubs that are inside of each one of these, and you want to try to get them out of there. You can use like a Dremel or like a sharp screwdriver, flathead. I think I'm going to use a sharp flathead and just kind of peel into it. I don't think the plastic is too bad. So these aren't structural at all. It's not going to interfere with anything, and it's not going to interfere with you going back to stock as well. So on a video, Randy just peeled them out with pliers. So I'm going to try and do the exact same thing. Let's see if it works. By golly, that thing just twisted right off. Yeah, at least the front ones are easy. So yeah, peel that off. There's a little bit left in there, but I can get in there. So these outside ones are fairly easy to just peel off. Well, that works better if you get a deeper grip on it before you start twisting. But I don't know if you can see that, but I just got that little tip there and then twist it out of there. Who knows how those back ones are going to go. We'll see. Alright, so I got all the tabs flattened out. I went the quick way and just used a Dremel, flatten it out. So alright, it's good to go to put those tabs in so we can screw that back in. Alright, yep, so it just pops on there. Once it's nice and flat, those just pop right in there, and then that's what's going to receive your screw when you put it back in. So we just got to finish up these 2 and do the other side. So once you got all your brackets inside your buckets, you can move on to getting the lights actually into these chrome rings here. So in order to put these together, just make sure you got the word patent pending facing you, and you do, well, that would be this way, wouldn't it? And you want to find the notch. There's going to be a notch that this fits into. That same notch right there on your light is going to fit into a notch here. So you can tell it'll drop down flat, and you'll see that notch here, and this will be flat when you get it in there. So it won't move anywhere, so it locks it in place, and that's going to be 12 o'clock there. And so it's all lined up. So what you do from here is you just take your original chrome housing, and it snaps in the same way that we did when keep it in the groove, keep it in the groove. So you just slide this together here and lock it into, get it locked in to place, like so. Not like that, like so. Finally got the lights in here. I had to do a little fighting in there and had to do a little Dremel in because they were not an exact fit. I don't know if these things were just too fat or what was going on, but I did have to Dremel down the ledges that it snaps into right here. So I had to just Dremel that down a little bit and make it a little bit flatter, but no sweat, a little bit of Dremel in it, and they locked right in, and man, those suckers are tight, man. They're in there. And now watch, this is what happens with this. It clips in and gets even more tight because, all right, so remember, this is the ones that are closer together is 12 o'clock. So you want to hold them up here. Make sure your wire is going to be at the bottom here, because there's going to be spaces within this thing as well for your clips to fit into. So you just gotta get your bearings. I'm trying to do this with one hand and it's hard to do. So yeah, line up your clips and then just pops. I got them in the bucket, which was another fight, and another modification that I had to do is Dremel out the sides to get the side clips to fit all the way in. I don't know, this thing was fatter than most, I don't know, but yeah, a little bit of modifications, but we got them in there. So from here we got the headlights together, we got these together, all we got to do is get them back on the bike. I got the headlight all installed. It's inside the bracket and everything. I got the chrome ring on it and everything. There should be enough room to reach these to adjust it. So all you got to do now is just install it with the 4 bolts that we had. So I'm going to get those in, and then I'm going to leave the cover off, of course, because we're going to have to aim it. But I'm going to get this in with these 4 bolts. When you're putting in, make sure you got your plug here. You should have your 3-prong to 3-prong here. And they give you some extra length, so it's a lot easier plugging this in. So boom, I'm good with that. Now I am going to have to come back and take this off because I'm going to be wiring through the halo lights on this. So I'm just putting in this in here temporarily. All right, so from here, this light here, I took the yellow daytime running lights and I ran them to the wire that I showed you, that red wire. I tapped into this one, and then I'm going to continue this on to the other one, tap that one into this same wire with the same kind of quick tap, or quick tap, and then I'm going to continue this on into the AC adapter, so I'll have the daytime running lights. Now that I've fished it from here through the front and I got it through here, I'm gonna now use a quick connect and tap into it with this light so that it'll continue on. So then we'll have all the same power going through one line. We just take a portion here. Well, I gotta slide this one first. It's an open one, so you take a portion here. I'm giving it a little bit of slack, just to to move around. I can then kind of push things around where they need to be later on. All right, get in there. That's the open side. This is the closed side. Just shove it through like that. These things are really cool. I know they're not the best because sometimes they can mess up and they don't pierce through right, but if you got the big enough gauge wire, it's not a problem. Like this is 18 gauge, so you just clamp it down on it and you just tapped into a wire. So they're cool, but they're not, I give them a I'm still gonna wrap it with a little bit of tape, the other one too, just wrap it with some black tape just to be sure. One thing to keep in mind too is that your factory likely is not going to fit the connector that comes. It kind of fits in there, but it doesn't go all the way. It looks like these are thinner and these ones are spaced out too wide, but this pack comes with the other side of this, so you use the other side wires and we could just tap in just as easy as we did with the other one. Got the lights in, everything wired up the way it's supposed to be. So I've got the halo lights coming out, connecting to one wire, coming through, connecting to this one, and then going in. And I'll show you here. I connected down into my my AC plug. The wires that come out of there, these two, I just plugged into that and tapped into it with a wire tap. So I should have the halos when they're off and the full ones when they're on. So let's check them out real quick. Yeah. I know this ain't gonna really do it because it's just the halos and it looks too bright. Maybe if I had my sunglasses, but yeah, so anyways, let me turn this demonetizing music down. Oh yeah, the halo lights look good. I know you probably can't see it from this angle, but let me, then when you turn this on, you have your full lights, which is even brighter. And then I'll show you, you gotta kick this on. And that's the full shot of all of them. That's low beam, and then high beam. So it's all working, super bright by the way. Looking good with them halos. So the only thing left to do now is to aim the headlight. Time to aim the headlight. Now I know this was missing on a lot of videos, but I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to aim it. Now remember when we were installing this, there's springs under here. This causes this to move. See? That moves around on them springs a little bit. It'll move around. So what you do is you adjust these screws right here to aim it, to push it up and down. So if you want it to go that way, you would loosen this one and push it out so it turns that way. If you want it up high or lower, you would unscrew this and it shoots lower. If you want it higher, tighten that up. It'll tighten it up and tip it upward. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to adjust these against my garage door with the lights out so I can see where it's hitting and everything. I'm going to kind of mark out where it's at and all that, and just make sure that I'm aiming straight down the road and whatnot. All right, so before I do this, I put it up on a brick so it's like as straight as possible. So it's like really up straight, as straight as it can be. I mean, I guess it's good. I'm going to be sitting on it each time, but I am going to be casting it against my door here. So let's just see real quick if anything is laying on there. Not too much with just the halos. When I turn the halos on, wow, we have a nice line. So as you can see, there is a slight turn. Let me just jump on real quick. I'll try to even it out here. So that's about dead even. So as you see, we got a wide spread from the lights. It looks like on this side it's spreading out to the sides real well too, and over here. So we got a nice wide spread from the passing lights, which is really good. So let's see what the headlight looks like. All right. So it kind of looked like it was dead center there. Let me see. Without these passing lights, that's what we got here. So it's like, and that's really not any difference when I tilt it. So this brick is pretty good. So just kind of seeing as I'm going, it looks a little high, and still too bright. Let's turn the lights down. Let's get the mood lights going. So here we go. So it does look a little high to me, and maybe you can get no, not so much. Can't really see the halos. They're so bright, but they are halo. Oh, you know what? A little trick. Look down in the fender. The fender will give you the reflection and show you the whole halo. There it is. There's a good shot. Look at that. Well, yeah, so that's a little low. So what I'm going to do is adjust that top one, and I'm going to loosen it so it drops down a little bit. So you see, it's a little high on there, so it's almost impossible to see these things. All right, so I'm going to loosen it. And as I turn this and loosen it, you can see it moving down. You don't want it too crazy. So put that down a little bit. That is going to, whoa! Woohoo! Almost went to look at the camera and almost dumped the bike. My goodness gracious. All right, I think that's good. All right, so it's not a crazy amount of adjustment that you have to do. It's not a lot of alignment that you have to do. It's only just a little bit, just slightly where you want it. It's for the most part, they're in the right place. They sink right back into the factory positions because these brackets are going right back in the factory position. So it is 95%, I would say, there for you. So it's not a crucial step. But if you wanted to zero it in and get it just right, then you know, you have the option to do that. So yeah, man, he's looking good. So now that I got it lined up and everything, I'm gonna pop that cowl back on and we should be good. All right, I also wanted to show you that you're gonna see these, the chrome screws that are in there. You're gonna see a short one and a long one. The short ones go for the engineered adapters chrome ring. And then you're gonna see these nubs up here. I already have some of the screws in here, but you're gonna see the nub like that. That's a screw in, that is replacing the push tabs on your factory ring that you're going to be putting on, you know, over top of that. So this is going to hook onto there. You're not going to use those push tabs, and you're just going to use the provided longer chrome screws. She's got her LEDs. She's looking good, nice and bright and all that. I know you can't see the halos, but I'll give you the high beams. And okay. Alright guys, well, they are installed, they are super bright, and they are casting a whole lot of light now, so should be a lot better at night, a lot safer, a lot brighter. I'm not done because I think I may put some spotlights, because one downside to this and a lot of bikes that have fixed fairing lights, when you're taking a corner, you don't have much light into the corner. So I may be getting some spotlights on here too, just to kind of off to the sides here. But I don't know, I got to decide what'll look good on there, how I'll do it and all that. But anyways guys, hopefully it was helpful for you if you're doing this. It really wasn't a hard job. I mean, the wiring, because it doesn't fit up with the factory, that was really the only time intensive thing I had to do. Besides the fact I had to modify the brackets that I bought that are supposed to be direct fit, but we won't talk about that. I mean, I don't mind a little bit. I mean, I had the Dremel. It wasn't much. It was just kind of thinning it out a little bit. But still, I shouldn't have to do that. But anyways, guys, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. And come on back for the next time, because we're going to be hooking this baby up. And we got some plans for the next upgrade. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.